Okay. Am I going to get interrupted too? So no, this is a fun. This is one of the first ones that I saw that was like the literal interpretation of the theme, which I appreciated. You know, of your rituals and habits. I'd say I really like the art style. It felt very cohesive, and you know, it all felt like, you know, parts of one game. I'll say the one like critique I have on the art is that I did find like it maybe it's deliberate, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but the like clutter in the rooms made it kind of hard to tell what you're trying to do. Like knowing what could be interacted with and what couldn't, and maybe even just like a prompt of, hey, this is interactable, and maybe some misdirections could be a fun thing where it's like, oh no, you grabbed the wrong thing, right? I think there's a lot of fun possibilities in there. But I also really appreciate a sort of wrapped up, completed demo experience as well. Like, you know, you had an end screen, which was great. And as I appreciate the blue ties. I'm sure that was deliberate. So, no, this is a fun game, and you know, a little bit of usability stuff, and I could see where this could go, you know, into more stuff later.
Yeah, it played really smoothly. The art matched its fun, cheeky tone with Jimothy, I think is his name, Jimothy. I was howling at the text. Really big fan of his stuff. I think to +1 some of the feedback, like there wasn't any audio, or when you play point and click games, like when you roll your mouse over, there's an indication of something that can be interacted with. It threw me off too, just from a puzzle standpoint. Finding the things, the tools that you need to overcome were in places I just would never expect. And I thought it was funny, but it just, as a player, also made it a little frustrating of like, wait, the gum is okay, and the cleaning is from the toilet, okay. And so like, in an odd way, it did match the tone of being fun and cheeky. But yeah, I think there's polish there. And I think some of the theming, like it was there in the meta design of like, oh yeah, you're showering, you have different habits that you have to do. But in terms of like rituals, like doing things over and over again, I think that's something that you can take a look at if you continue to work on this project, to maybe do things more than once. And any time I was tackling a habit, I felt a little bit like I was being told, as opposed to like kind of feeling that habit. And I would love to see, you know, taking a crack at like what does hygiene feel from the player's perspective? How do they feel that weighing them down and overcoming that? Yeah, really fun overall, and I enjoyed all of the text.
First of all, those aren't all bad habits, okay? I say I haven't played video games how I don't want. It did feel a little like tongue-in-cheek about like gamers, because there are a lot of the bad habits there like that we do pick up as gamers. A good cohesion with the art, building on like what Matt was saying, just about like understanding what you can interact with. Like you see a lot of times in games where there'll be like a subtle glow around it, or things will happen as you get closer to it, and so not having sound would be like an avenue you could have explored pretty easily there, or just even, you know, additional options, like I was saying that too, like other things in the room, like no, those don't work against it. Like really giving players like a puzzle to solve. But did really, really appreciate the tooltips and hints. I think that that's a thing that gets overlooked a lot when we're playing these really small vertical slices, like how to get players through the game. So at no point was I lost or confused, and I felt good at the end when I was like, cool, I'm done the demo, I'm done like with the slice of what this game is. And yeah, it was also too like, I noticed the first one, I was like, oh, this is really leaning into the habit or the theme quite a lot for this year.
Yeah, I think this is another game that was very smartly designed in that you were able to take the exact same gameplay, but between levels it felt very different, and every level had its own character, even though it was find something, shoot something. It still felt unique in its own way. And it was really smart of you guys to do. I would definitely agree that the biggest thing that I would like to see added is just that little bit of like feedback. One, when you're killing your habit, explode or something. You know, celebrate. It's gone. You've done it. But then also the feedback of like where you're supposed to go, the glow, whatever that may be. But otherwise, it was really fun and had a lot of character. It's really cool.
Thank you, judges.